In this module, we'll learn to recognize our capacity to experience hodaya, gratitude for the goodness in our life. We'll investigate the obstacles that tend to obstruct our ability to be thankful, and learn to meet these with compassion and with wisdom. If we can open more space within ourselves, we can live with more joy, and we can be more present to the blessings of our lives. When we lack gratitude, we suffer from a sense of perpetual insufficiency and inadequacy. The cup's always half empty. Nothing feels like enough. We can never feel full. We feel constantly critical of ourselves and others, dissatisfied with our work, with our partner, with our family members. We minimize or dismiss the blessings of daily life. We allow life to pass us by. Our previous midah, zirizut, represents energetic response, the drive to do and be more, the impulse to improve and transform. In contrast, hodaya represents our capacity to feel satisfied with what we have, to accept ourselves and others as being and having enough. In Jewish spiritual practice, we honor both of these, zirizut and hodaya, as equally essential midot. Knowing when to apply each of these midot takes some discernment. The Hebrew root for the word hodaya has two connotations. The first is to acknowledge, and the second is to be grateful. Practicing hodaya in that first sense involves just acknowledging that which is true, imperfect as it may be. Practicing hodaya in the second sense involves experiencing joy in that which we acknowledge as true. As with any midah, we can't summon hodaya on demand. Inner obstacles may obstruct the natural flow of gratitude in any number of ways. The mind likes to invent problems where none inherently exist, or magnify those that are not as problematic as we might imagine. Without some mindfulness, this tendency may cause us to miss the everyday blessings that are right before our very eyes. Some of us may see gratitude as a prescription for passivity in the face of unfairness and injustice. We might be afraid of being complacent or tolerating that which we perceive as intolerable. Or we may struggle with gratitude because we're so aware of deeply painful realities in our lives and our world. The curses, the difficult aspects of life may blind us to that which we experience as good. Or we might feel as though in focusing on the good, we implicitly deny that which is so painful and problematic for ourselves or for others. For example, how can we enjoy our meal knowing that millions are starving at the same moment? Conversely, we may chastise ourselves for not experiencing a sense of thankfulness when we should. We may feel overwhelmed by the blessings in our lives and our world. We may feel afraid to take them in because they are inherently ephemeral. Traumatic historical experience may induce fear of accepting that which is good, lest it be quickly ripped away. Later, I'll be walking you through a 3-step process, step by step, with a practice to cultivate hodaya. When we practice hodaya, we recognize our habitual instincts about accepting things just as they are, without obsessing about how they might be otherwise. We investigate how it feels for us to be content with our portion. We explore without judging the thoughts and emotions which fuel our sense of discontent and obstruct our capacity for gratitude. Thoughts and words of gratitude may then arise more easily of their own accord. We begin to remember that we are enough. We remember that we have enough. We remember that this world is enough just as it is. And rather than power through periods of ingratitude to generate a sense of thankfulness, this week, let's slow down and allow our blessings to catch up with us. Practicing gratitude means recognizing the good that's already ours. As we practice accepting what is, even for a moment, instead of yearning for it to be otherwise, the hodaya within each of us may begin to bubble up naturally. A dear friend, Rabbi Cheryl Lewert of blessed memory, once taught, if you've lost your job but you still have your family and health, you've got something to be grateful for. If you can't move around much, but your mind is as sharp as ever, you've got something to be grateful for. Gratitude affirms. Most of us tend to focus on what's missing in our lives. We barely notice all the good that offsets it. Recognize the good and resolve that the good is more than good enough. Celebrate a life based on gratitude. In the previous module, we learned how our midah of zirizut, energetic response, impels us to do the necessary work of acting for ourselves and our world. And this week, practicing hodaya helps us integrate into our lives the equally essential ability just to receive, accept, and celebrate who we are and whatever is true right now in this moment without needing to change it.